Theo redoubled his fur-clad defense against the biting mountain chill. The merchant had charged him a hand and a heel for it, but the thick pelts were worth every coin. It was his fault, really. He had chosen to traverse the Kazdeth mountain range right as the seasons had turned for the coldest months of the year. He was shaken from his thoughts as the line shuffled forwards. After a deep breath, he remarked at all the oddities waiting to get into the city. There was the usual horse-drawn wagons. Some had large rams pulling them forward, and the occasional creature that looked like a big, long-haired cow. He wasn't concerned with the big cow things. They were massive, but he knew a grazing animal when he saw one. No, what he was concerned about was the bear. A bear! Who in their right mind used a bear to pull a wagon? As the line plodded forward, he found himself wondering if they could even get into the city with such an animal. He braced himself when they got to the checkpoint, ready to get out of the bear wagon's way if it got rejected and came this way back down the mountain. But the checkpoint guard just looked in the wagon, collected the fee, and up the bear wagon went. A young gnomish man chuckled behind Theo. "First time up the Platts?" he asked, a wry smile spreading across his face. "The what?" Theo asked, his confusion at the new word evident. "I was scared my first time, too. Almost fell, my legs shook so much. My old caravan covered me in so much fur I could have given Bessie here a run for her copper." The gnome laughed at his own joke as he patted the massive hair cow that must have been Bessie. "Just don't stand too close to the edge if you get the shakes. You'll be up there before you know it." He kept talking to Theo as the line moved, Bessie stoically pulling his cart all the while. After the inevitable sales pitch from the gnomish merchant, and the sheepish apology from Theo in his already emaciated coin pouch, the gnome, Gray, fell into a comfortable silence. Theo still felt somewhat awkward about the whole situation, and was relieved when his turn finally came. That was until the guardsman said the entrance fee. 7 silvers! He almost gave up on the spot. Maybe it would have been easier to just fall off the mountain. He had spent the past few months to get here, and only had 3 silvers, 7 copper, and a single hap. Theo looked down at his worn-out shoes, no longer able to continue, but not quite ready to turn back. The line had started to move past him while he struggled to gather the will to take the multi-month track back to his hometown. The last words his father said to him came to mind. "It'll only take a few months. We'll be back in time for Harvest Festival." Theo had trusted those words, and as Harvest Festival came and went, he still trusted those words. They just meant the next Harvest Festival. By the time that came and went too, his hope in those words fell, like the leaves from a harvest-time tree. He gathered all the coin he could find in the house, and set off on his journey the same night that promise was broken a second time. The townsfolk would try to stop him. He knew they would. So he told no one of his plans and left a note on his table for when they came looking for him in a few days. They knew he still had hope beyond hope for his parents' return, and they would let him feel his grief before the necessity of everyday work muffled his pain. Theo took a deep breath, clearing his thoughts. He was here now, at the top of a cold mountain, the end of the line, with the sound of coin he did not have, letting others continue on their journey. A journey that ended for him before he had begun. Theo turned to walk down the mountain. "Hey, boyo!" Greg's voice added a new weight to Theo's heart. Greg had been so sincere trying to cheer him up. Theo didn't know how to face the jolly gnome now. He held back tears as he turned, addressing the gnome. "Greg, If I knew you were that scared, I would have saved the silver and not got you a ride in," the gnome said, his wry grin cutting off anything Theo was about to say. Speechless, Theo looked to Greg, then to the guard, and back to Greg. "Get movin', boyo. Would hate for the Platte to leave without ya." Theo didn't have to be told twice. With tears in his eyes and a smile on his face, he stepped onto the wooden platform.